For centuries, secret societies have fascinated and frightened people alike. From the Knights Templar to the Freemasons, these shadowy organizations have shaped history from behind the curtain, influencing governments, banking systems, and even revolutions. Their members are bound by oaths of secrecy, their motives often unclear, leaving the public to wonder, are they merely social clubs for the elite, or do they wield real power? One such society has stood the test of time, remaining one of the most exclusive and powerful organizations in America. Its members have gone on to become U.S. presidents, Supreme Court justices, intelligence operatives, and corporate titans. Its rituals, a closely guarded secret, rumored to involve coffins, stolen skulls, and strange oaths of loyalty. For nearly 200 years, Skull and Bones has operated in the shadows at Yale University. But what really happens inside the infamous tomb? And does this fraternity hold more influence than it wants the world to believe? Today, we uncovered the truth about Skull and Bones.
Hello, I'm Mike Droberg, Marine Corps veteran and filmmaker, and we will try to answer these questions on today's episode of Forgotten History.
Founded in 1832 at Yale University by William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft, the later being the father of future President William Howard Taft. William Huntington Russell was a Connecticut politician, businessman, and educator. Russell was a key figure in shaping the Skull and Bones. He founded the Collegiate and Commercial Institute at New Haven, a military-style school that emphasized discipline and leadership. Some researchers suggest that Russell had connections to Russell & Co., a major firm involved in the 19th century opium trade in China, raising speculation about the Skull and Bones tie to global finance. His experiences with European secret societies while studying abroad influenced the structure and rituals of the Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones co-founder Alphonso Taft was a highly regarded lawyer, judge, and statesman. Taft went on to serve as the U.S. Secretary of War and Attorney General under President Ulysses S. Grant. Later, he became the U.S. Minister to Austria-Hungary and China, helping shape American diplomacy. His son, William Howard Taft, became the 27th U.S. President and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, further solidifying Skull and Bones' influence in national politics. Skull and Bones was inspired by German secret societies, particularly the Bavarian Illuminati, which was founded in 1776. It aimed to infiltrate political and financial institutions. Also, the German student orders. These societies practiced secretive initiation rituals and had a strong emphasis on loyalty and hierarchy. And of course, Freemasonry and Rosicrucianism. While broader in scope, both organizations had significant presence in Germany and emphasized symbolic rituals, networking, and hidden knowledge. Unlike typical fraternities, Skull and Bones was small and selective, only accepting 15 members per year, a tradition that continues to this day. Their headquarters, simply known as The Tomb, is a windowless, fortress-like building in New Haven, Connecticut, rumored to contain strange relics, stolen artifacts, and symbols of power. But what does one need to do to become a member? The initiation process remains one of the most secretive aspects of the Skull and Bones. But former members have hinted at bizarre and unsettling rituals. One of the most persistent rumors is that the initiates are required to lie in a coffin and confess their deepest secrets, a practice meant to break down personal barriers and ensure loyalty. The symbol of the skull and bones features a skull above two crossed bones, resembling a pirate emblem, but its meaning is much deeper. Some believe it's a reference to memento mori, a Latin phrase that translates, "Remember, you must die." The number 322 is also predominantly featured in Skull and Bones lore and has uncertain origins. Some link it to Greek death cults, such as the Orphic Mysteries and the Eleusinian Mysteries, which focus on rituals of the dead, reincarnation, and passage into the afterlife. These secretive groups performed initiations that were believed to grant hidden knowledge and ensure a favorable fate in the underworld. Others believe the number marks the death of Greek order Demosthenes in 322, a pivotal moment in Greek history marking the fall of Athenian democracy to Macedonian rule. Demosthenes, one of Greece's most renowned statesmen, dedicated his life to resisting the influence of Philip II and later Alexander the Great. As Macedonian forces sought his capture, he chose to take his own life rather than submit, an act that some interpret as a symbol of the ultimate defiance. So for Skull and Bones, 322 may represent both intellectual and political strategy, as well as an unwavering commitment to their inner circle's secrecy and influence, symbolizing the society's commitment to intellectual and strategic dominance. Another strange ritual of Skull and Bones includes drinking from Geronimo's skull. Born in 1829, Geronimo was a leader of the Apache and one of the most legendary warriors in Native American history. He led multiple rebellions against Mexican and U.S. forces, using guerrilla tactics to resist expansion into Apache lands. His fight for Apache independence lasted for decades, making him both a feared and revered figure. Despite his resistance, he was eventually forced to surrender in 1886, spending the rest of his life as a prisoner of war, and was relocated from Arizona to Florida, Alabama, and finally Fort Sill, Oklahoma. He died in 1909, but his legacy remains as a symbol of Native American resilience. This is one of the most controversial allegations against the Skull and Bones. In 1918, a group of Skull and Bones members, allegedly including Prescott Bush, father of President George H.W. Bush, are said to have stolen Geronimo's skull from his grave in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. The evidence? A leaked letter from a Skull and Bones archive, allegedly confirming the theft and detailing how Geronimo's skull was displayed inside the tomb. The Apache tribe demanded its return, but Skull and Bones has never publicly confirmed or denied possession of the remains. In 2009, descendants of Geronimo sued Yale University, the Skull and Bones, and the Bush family to return the remains. However, the lawsuit was dismissed due to jurisdictional issues and no conclusive proof surfaced, confirming that the Skull and Bones actually possessed Geronimo's skull. The U.S. Army, which maintains Fort Sill Cemetery, has stated that Geronimo's grave has never been disturbed. Historians remain skeptical as no forensic evidence has ever surfaced. So what about the political influence of the Skull and Bones? Many bonesmen have gone on to shape the U.S. intelligence community, including CIA directors, national security advisors, and ambassadors. In fact, some researchers believe Skull and Bones played a key role in founding of the CIA itself. Prominent political members include such people as Averell Harriman, class of 1913. He was a U.S. ambassador, diplomat, and advisor. Harriman plays a significant role in World War II diplomacy and post-war intelligence efforts. He was integral in the formation of U.S. foreign policy during the early Cold War years. Another member, William H. Bundy, class of 1939, was a CIA analyst and National Security Council member. He worked for the CIA before becoming Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs, influencing U.S. policy during the Vietnam War. And finally, George H.W. Bush, class of 1948. He was the director of the Central Intelligence Agency from 1976 to 1977 and the 41st President of the United States. He is perhaps the most famous bonesman connected to the CIA. Bush led the agency during a tumultuous time, aiming to restore its reputation post-Watergate. Even the 2004 presidential election saw two Skull and Bones members, George W. Bush and John Kerry, competing against each other. When asked about their membership, both candidates refused to elaborate, brushing it off as too secret to discuss. The Skull and Bones also has deep ties to major Wall Street firms and financial institutions. For example, Brown Brothers Harriman & Co. is one of America's most influential investment banks and has a long standing with Skull and Bone connections, such as Bonesmen Prescott Bush and Roland Harriman. Is this merely networking, or does Skull and Bones use its influence to steer global finance? In conclusion, the Skull and Bones has remained one of the most exclusive and secretive societies in America, producing some of the most powerful figures in government, finance, and intelligence. Its rituals, symbols, and membership remain shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation about its true influence. Some argue it's nothing more than a networking group for Yale's elite, a club that fosters strong professional connections rather than a secret power broker. Many believe the evidence suggests otherwise, that the Skull and Bones ties to intelligence agencies, high finance, and global governance allude to something much deeper. Whether Skull and Bones is merely a fraternity for ambitious students or a society with far-reaching influence, one thing is certain: it continues to captivate those who seek to uncover the hidden forces shaping our world. So what do you think? Secretive fraternity or something far more sinister? Let us know in the comments below.
Thank you for watching Forgotten History. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments or show ideas, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks again.
Cik atmodas mums ir vajadzīgas, lai mēs beidzot pieceltos? Laiks celties!